Hello everyone, my name is Holly, and during this hour we will be doing a lesson on baseball. This is one of the top 3 sports in the US, and also there are some countries also that like to play baseball, such as Japan and Korea. And so we will just be systematically going over some vocabulary words. We'll talk about what all these words are. We will also look at some baseball idioms, which are used in so many areas of American society. We'll also talk about sports in general and have discussions, and also look at some baseball trivia. So that is what we'll be doing today. So again, my name is Holly, and I will be facilitating this class on the topic of baseball. To tell you a little bit about me, I was raised in Idaho in the United States, and have recently returned to Idaho after being away for about 20 years. I lived in South Korea for 2 years, or just under 2 years, where I started teaching English in 1994. And then I also lived in Finland for 11 years, where I taught mostly workplace English, but I also taught a little bit of general English in a local high school. So that's a little about me. I came back to the States about 5 or 6 years ago and have been teaching online for a lot of that time. So part of it I was working in other industries. And I have been teaching here on Verbling since September. So hi, Claudio. How are you?
Hi, Holly. I'm doing well. And you?
Excellent. Very good. And it's quite late in Brazil, isn't it?
Oh, as always, I'm late here.
Are
I'm
you? Yeah. Yeah. What time is it?
1 a.m. now.
1 a.m. Okay. Yeah, so it's not as late. There's one person from Russia that was in class, and I said to him, it's quite late there, and he goes, yeah, it's 3 a.m. And he made it through the whole class too, and I was like, wow.
Last night I wasn't able to stay at till the finish the
Yeah.
class because I
Yeah.
was too tired.
It's always nice when people leave the notes and they say, "I'm so sorry," because you left a note saying that you were going to sleep. So yeah, well, good. Yeah, well, this class tonight is on baseball, and it's a sport that's quite popular in the States, and I believe in Korea and Japan, but I don't know if it's popular anywhere else in the world. So
No,
um,
In Brazil is not popular.
yeah.
Frankly, I don't know at least the rules.
Okay. So we can go over the rules at least, so that way if you end up in a hotel somewhere and there's a baseball game, you can at least follow it a little bit. So, yeah, I used to play it in PE, in physical education class, and that's about it. so, so
Yes, but I watched that we have a Brazilian who is who is being who is doing a lot of success in baseball in American Baseball League in the
Oh, is he?
United States. Yes,
Oh, really?
I
Okay,
don't
so
I can't remember his name, but
so you
I
have a Brazilian that plays baseball professionally.
yes, we have some Brazilians that play, but I didn't know that they could be good.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because baseball is in the top 3 sports in our country, so they make a lot of money too. So if you're a professional football, basketball, or baseball player, you're doing really well financially. So,
Yeah,
so
I
yeah,
know. I think that I find baseball a wonderful sport, but I
hmm
don't know why they don't play here in
yeah,
Brazil. I know
yeah,
that Japan and Cuba is very good as well. It's a good
yeah. Cuba,
baseball.
Cuba's the other country. Yeah. So, hello, Mustafa. How are you, Mustafa?
Hello, teacher.
Good
Hello,
morning.
hello. Good morning for you. Thank you.
Good morning. Did you go to sleep?
Yeah, I did go for sleep.
Okay.
Right. I
Yeah.
don't know, like it's maybe good night for good evening for you, I think.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's 9 p.m. now, my time.
Good evening.
So,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I've been pretty much teaching all day here in Verbling. Originally usually only teach on Sundays, maybe 2, 3 hours, and I just saw that there were a lot of empty spaces and a lot of teachers apparently had canceled. So I just went ahead and put my name down. So,
Oh, good. Yeah, sound good.
yeah. Yeah, because I felt really bad that I saw so many empty spots. But anyway, so yeah, baseball is the topic of discussion right now. Do you know anything about baseball, Mustafa?
I saw it like many time on TV, maybe on
Uh-huh.
advertisements, sometimes in movies. There's about some movies about baseball, but
Mhm.
it's not famous in my country. So
Mhm.
here it's not famous game. I think,
Mhm.
as you said, like in USA, maybe it's more famous.
Yeah.
Here the soccer game is more famous and discover all of it, of all of the game, and yeah.
Yeah. It's I always say that there's in the U.S. as far as sports go, we have two tiers. We have three sports that are really popular, and that's football, American football. Uh, okay, thanks, Claudio. Um, this is American football, basketball, and baseball. And then our second tier, which is the secondary sports that are popular would be soccer and hockey and volleyball, and then golf as well. So there's others as well that are very popular. But but yeah, baseball is very popular. I've only been to one professional baseball game, and it was very, very boring. Compared to soccer, baseball is very boring. So,
Yeah, especially if you don't know like the role of playing or something like this, you'll be like lose. You don't know like that don't make sense for you anymore.
uh-huh.
Watching the game, you have to know the rules and how it's like complicated game or not. I think when I went like to watch like I have watched a football game, American football
Mhm.
game. I didn't
Mhm.
know too much about the rules of playing, so it's too hard to see when the team like winning or
Uh-huh.
soccer like a goals or something like that.
Mhm. Yeah.
How to collect the points.
Yeah. Yeah. It's especially when you don't know. It's like, what's going on? So, and like the innings, what's going on with that, or what? What are? Why is he not running? And and that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah. Well, let's go ahead and start. And Claudio said he would be returning. I guess he's having problems with his battery. So, um, I hate it when those hardware things happen to our computers right in the middle. So,
Yeah,
um,
I don't know. Like sometimes I'm freezing. Like if all of a sudden I freeze. So yeah.
oh, do you? Yeah, I have done that too, and I've learned there's different errors that I receive. One of them that's been happening the most is just my computer freezes, and if I sit and wait for about maybe a minute or 2 minutes, everything it comes back to normal.
Mhm.
But then there's the other one where uh, you can hear everybody, but they can't hear you. and
No.
and that one you have to leave and come back.
Yeah, that didn't happen to me. The first one has happened like freeze for 1 minute or something like that.
Yeah, it's like, oh, what the, yeah. And then of course, if when you hear somebody and you don't hear them very well, you don't know if it's your connection or their connection.
Yeah, yeah, you are right.
So, and it's like, oh. But all right, well, let's go ahead and look at this. And first of all, I don't know how much you said you don't know very much vocabulary, so that's what I thought we would go over is some vocabulary related to baseball, and then we'll talk about kind of the rules of baseball. And and then the main I think the main part of this lesson is idioms related to baseball. That it's related to baseball, but actually it's related to real life. And so we have a lot of sports idioms that have to do with specific sports in the U.S. or in the English-speaking world that are related to the sport, but actually we don't use them when we're talking about that sport. So we'll be doing that as well. So first of all, what is this? Oops, sorry about that. I better get my little pointer or whatever. What is this called?
Ball.
And it's actually baseball. And there's also, if you ever heard the word softball.
So it's called like softball.
Yeah, it's like a baseball, only bigger, and girls play it. But you actually don't need with softball you don't need one of these. Do you know what this is called?
Gloves?
Yeah, a baseball glove. Perfect. So what is this called right here?
Stick, I think.
No, it's called a bat.
Bat, yeah, right. Yeah, right, bat.
Yeah, a baseball bat. And what is he doing when he hits the ball to the bat? What is he doing?
He hit the ball like.
Yeah. So he's hitting the ball. Basically, that's what he's doing. That was a weird question. I'm sorry, Miss Staff. I realized I used the answer in the question. So what is going on here? Do you know what this verb is?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Really.
What he is doing is he is pitching. It's from the verb. It's the verb to pitch. So the first guy with the bat, he is hitting. The verb is to hit. And then we have the next word with the guy with the 22. He is pitching, and to pitch is when you're in the middle, when you're right here, and you're throwing the ball to the batter. So you're throwing it this way, and then the batter takes a swing and tries to hit it out onto the field. And this person right here is called a catcher. Catcher. And
a batter.
Yeah, a batter. This person right here. This person is a batter. A catcher, a batter. Let's see, batter. And then this person, since the verb is to pitch, he is a pitcher. And then we have this person right here. What happens is the person hits the ball, and then they run this way, and this is called first base. And then the person there's a person guarding first base, and he is a first baseman.
Okay.
First baseman.
Teacher, can you change to Google Chat because the verb link is not working?
Oh, it isn't? Okay, yeah, I can absolutely change over. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So first baseman. So you did see what I was writing then, but now you only see a little bit. So first baseman, and then we don't actually. Let me see. Do I have another picture? Bear with me a moment.
Okay.
I should have had the whole thing. I don't. Okay, bear with me a moment. This is called a baseball field. But this is right here, home. This is the pitcher's mound, first base, second base, and third base.
Okay.
Okay. And so the batter hits the ball, and they try to hit it as far as they can, and then they run to first base. Now, all the people on the opposing team try to catch the ball and get the ball to first base before the batter gets there. And if you've heard the term home run, that means the batter has hit the ball so far that he can actually run around all 3 bases.
And he has to run quickly, maybe to.
Yes. Yeah, you have to run very quick in order to be successful in it. Usually you have a man standing right here and a man standing right here. They're called shortstops. And then you have a bunch of people around in this green area, and they're called outfield. So you have first base, second base, third base, and then the catcher, and the pitcher, and shortstop. And yeah, it can be fairly slow, but then it can be actually quite fun as well. Kids like it because they like to be able to hit the ball. So,
Yeah.
but that's what it is. So as far as vocabulary, this is called a baseball field. Baseball field. And what is he doing right here?
What is it, teacher? Sorry, what is it?
What is this man doing right here?
Okay. He's trying to catch the ball.
Yeah, so he's trying to catch basically to catch the ball. Perfect. Okay, and what is happening here? Who are these people?
Fans.
Fans, yeah. And a lot of the fans will have a baseball glove. If they're in a certain place, sometimes the batter will hit the ball into the stands. And if they hit it into the stands, the fan is able to catch it and keep the ball. Cool. So that's another thing about it. Okay. But do you kind of have the general idea about baseball?
Me?
Yeah.
Now? After you explain, I have now a simple idea about baseball.
Yeah, and you have if you've heard the word strikes. Have you ever heard a strike?
Strike, yeah, I heard strike, yeah.
And then a strikeout. So a strikeout is a strike is when the pitcher throws a ball and the batter swings the bat and does not hit the ball. And if you do 3 strikes, then you're out.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, and so the goal is for the pitcher to strike 3 people out, and then also so they have 3 strikeouts or 3 people getting caught. If someone doesn't make it here, that's an out. If someone's a strike, maybe they strike out here, that's an out. And then maybe a person is running and they're running to second base and the ball goes to second base, that's an out. Then the inning is over. And they have, I think it's 13 innings.
So if he lose the ball, like we strike out, that's called strikeout.
A strikeout is when you have 3 strikes. 3 strikes and it's strikeout, or if the ball goes, basically it's an out. If the batter hits the ball and they run, and the ball gets here before the batter does, that's an out. Okay, so you have 3 strikes and you're out, but you also have 3 outs, and then the whole team switches over. And the other team bats as well. And then there's innings. See, I'm going to show you. See. Baseball inning. This is basically, you have, I guess it's 9 innings, 9 or 10 innings. So each inning, in this situation, one team got 2 runs. So the person was able to run around the base, all 3 bases. So they got 2 of them, and in this team was able to get a run on the 4th base and on the 4th inning and on the 7th inning. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, yeah, it's actually, if a person really likes statistics and they like math, baseball is a really good sport for people.
Wow.
So it's something, and it's probably why I've never really been a fan of baseball, because I don't like
Yeah.
it.
Seems like it's kind of like complicated.
Yeah,
Kind of.
it's a statistical thing. Yeah, the actual game is not, but when you look at the stats and things like that, and who is good and all that, it's beyond me because I don't understand math very much. But we've got these baseball idioms, and this is basically the main thing that I want to go over. And so let's quickly look at these. Have you heard any of these?
Hit a home, a ballpark, strike out, batting count, play hard. No, nothing from there.
Okay.
On
Okay.
the ball, maybe. On the ball.
On the
I
ball. Okay.
maybe on the
Yeah.
ball, maybe.
Okay. Let's quickly go through what all these mean, and then we'll quickly practice them and see if we can
Okay.
figure out how to use
Okay.
them. Okay. The first one, to hit a home run, means to be very successful.
Hit the home run.
So if you hit a home run, you are very successful. So how did the meeting go yesterday, Mustafa? Oh, I hit a home run. Things couldn't go any better. So that's
Okay.
how it would be used. A ballpark figure. Any idea what that would be?
A ballpark figure. No.
Yeah. Okay. On that one, that has to do with an estimate. So, say for example, you are trying to sell you're trying to sell you're trying to sell your car, okay? And somebody asks you, well, how much are you selling it? Just give me a ballpark figure.
Huh.
Uh,
Cool. Yeah. Cool.
So just give me a ballpark figure. So it's not the exact amount, but it's kind of a little bit about it. Or how much do you make a year? Just give me a ballpark figure. So it has to do with money, an estimate. What do you pay? What do you make? Okay, to strike out. Any idea what that would be? Any idea what you think that might be?
Strike out something maybe went like wrong or something negative or
It is
some
negative.
yeah related to negative things.
Yeah, it means to fail.
To fail, yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of times, this one will be used a lot of times when you talk about, say for example, a guy is wanting to ask a girl out, right, on a date or something, and his buddies ask him, well, did you do it? Well, no, I struck out.
Okay.
So that's one way. Okay, batting 1,000.
Batting 1,000. Having a lot of chances, like.
Well, it's positive. What this is maintaining a perfect record. So if you or somebody is doing something and they're being perfect, you can say, oh, she's batting 1,000. She's doing so well in her job, or in their relationship, they're batting 1,000. So, And to play hardball, any idea what that would be?
Uh, what? Maintaining a perfect play hardball. Play hardball, having a difficult maybe time.
Uh-huh. Well, actually, it's the other way around. What you're doing is you're causing other people to have a difficult time. So you use extreme measures to ensure success. So if you are in a negotiation and you are playing hardball, then you are getting what is it? You are actually being the hard person, the difficult person to please.
Huh.
So
Use extreme measure to ensure success.
yeah.
Can you give me more second example, teacher, if you can?
Yeah. Okay. Hi, Ken. How are you? Okay, so let me think. You're in a negotiation to buy a house, okay?
Okay.
And say the house is $100,000. Okay, not much. Not. I mean, that's a middle class home. $100,000 home. Could you do me a favor? Could you move your microphone just a little bit far from your mouth? Because I'm hearing your better. Oh, okay, okay. Muting works too. Hi, Ken.
Yes. Hi.
Hi. Okay, I'm explaining to play hardball. So okay, so you want to buy a house and it's $100,000, and you offer $70,000, but the owners of the house decide to play hardball and will only go down $5,000. So they will sell the house for $95,000, and that's all. They are playing hardball.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So to play
Yeah.
hardball is just to make it difficult for people to be successful. So
Okay.
how are you, Ken? Are you familiar with these baseball idioms?
I don't know, but I know the rule of baseball. So
You know how to play baseball.
yeah,
Yeah,
but,
because you're from a country that plays it. So yeah. Okay, yeah, so we've got hit a home run. That's to be very successful. Then a ballpark figure would be an estimate. So how much do university professors make in Japan? Just tell me a ballpark figure. So give me an estimate. To strike out would be to fail. Batting 1,000. So if you're batting 1,000, you're maintaining a perfect record. So that's a person is being very, very good. Then in play hardball, usually with playing hardball, it has to do with negotiations, and one of the persons in the negotiation is being a little bit more difficult, so they're playing hardball that way. To go to bat for someone, does anybody know what that means? Any idea?
Maybe fight? Is it positive or negative?
It's positive.
Go to bat for someone. To defend on someone?
It's exactly what it is. If you go to bat for someone, that means you are defending them or you are aiding and supporting them. So a good example is say, for example, an employee made a mistake in their job, but it was a mistake that could have cost the employee their job. They could lose their job, but the boss wants to keep them. So the boss goes to bat for that person, and they're able to and he's able to keep the person from getting fired. So if you go back to bat for someone, you are really, really supporting them and aiding them, defending them in every respect. Does that make sense, both of you?
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. All right. To throw a curveball.
Maybe kind of trick by somebody,
That's exactly
not a
what it is.
straight ball.
Yeah, since the curveball is not a straight ball, what when you throw a curveball on somebody, you do something unexpected. So maybe you had a plan, and then someone threw you a curveball, and the plan has to change because of that curveball. So you can say, "Oh, I was throwing a curveball. Now I have to change my plan." Okay. To touch base. Any idea what that means? So,
Maybe
okay, Ken?
maybe advantage to achieve something.
No. I want to give you guys an example. Let's say if you guys ever have the opportunity to travel to Idaho, I really hope that you touch base with me.
Like contact or see me?
Exactly. Communicate briefly with someone. So it's usually a brief communication, but maybe you have a friend that you haven't touched base with in a long time, and then you finally do. Oh, yeah, I touched base with him last week. I haven't seen him in a long time. So it's just basically communicating with somebody. A colleague. Will you get in touch, or will you touch base with so and so and find out about the project? Okay. To have 2 strikes. Anybody have an idea what that would be?
Almost win or almost get the point.
Strikes?
2 strike and one more. So almost
Yeah,
win more.
but no, a strike is when the
To
ball
have.
doesn't hit the bat. To have 2 strikes.
The batter almost lose.
Yeah, almost lose. Okay. Yeah, I was like, strike. To have the odds against you. So if you have 2 strikes, for example, in the U.S., I think it's in the state of California, they have set up what is called, even though this is baseball terminology, this is actually in the courts. It's called the 3 strikes law. Anybody have any idea what that would be?
Yeah, maybe in California, if you in a court 3 times, automatically you have to go to jail. I heard of it.
Yeah, you've heard of it? Yeah, so in baseball, 3 strikes and you're out. In the court system in California, if you get arrested and convicted for 3 different crimes, you are automatically sent to prison for the rest of your life. So, and you're basically 3 strikes and you're out. So if somebody says, "Well, I have 2 strikes against me, I can't commit anything else." Man, if I had 2 strikes and I was living in California, I would move somewhere else. But this is to have the odds against you. So, okay, what does on the ball mean? Any idea what on the ball would be? We hired her, and she is on the ball. We are so happy that we hired her. We don't even know how we made it without her.
At the exact position?
It's a very aware, responsible, and intelligent. So if a person is on the ball, they are one of the best people around. So if a person is not on the ball, maybe you don't want them working in your organization. So, all right. So let's see if we can practice
Can I
this.
have one question?
Uh-huh.
Okay. From the pitcher side, what can I say? Get 2 strikes from batter, or
Yeah, you get 2 strikes.
and
Um,
and and from the batter side, I have 2 strikes.
yes.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah. So that is what it is. Good question though. Very good question. Okay, let's go ahead and practice some of this. So Mustafa, can you tell us about a person you work for that is on the ball? Work with, not work for, but work with, that is on the ball.
My friend,
Uh-huh.
he's on the ball almost, or usually on the ball.
Uh-huh.
He's like responsible and intelligent, I think.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And he's always on the ball?
he's almost always on the ball.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Because he's your friend, you know that it's not always on the ball.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And Ken, can you think of someone you know that's pretty much on the ball?
Yes. Some people I met, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
are like that. Yeah, on the
Mm.
ball. They were on the ball.
And what characteristics makes you realize that they're on the ball? What do they do?
Awareness and responsibility and
Uh-huh.
intelligence. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
all those three things. Okay. Have you ever met someone who was on the ball and then all of a sudden you're like, what's wrong with them?
Ah. Because nobody's perfect. Sometimes,
Yeah.
even though, yeah, even though they might have made mistake, or yeah.
Okay. All right. Um, so let's see. Mustafa, how often do you touch base with some of your friends from high school?
Rarely. Maybe I have never touched base with him.
Okay, so never or rarely. Okay. How about you, Ken? Do you ever touch base with any friends from high school?
High school.
Yeah.
Very, yeah, yeah,
Rarely. Yeah.
very.
I mean, the only reason I have even gone anywhere close to that is because of Facebook. Otherwise, I would not know anyone from high school, or very rare, very few people. So, can you think of Mustafa? Can you think of a time that somebody threw you a curveball when you were making plans, and then someone threw you a curveball?
Um, yeah, I can't think. Like sometimes you know what, like in the university, the professor or the teacher
Uh-huh.
um, try to throw a curveball in front of us, like he want to do like and all of a sudden do a quiz or something like that.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So we don't expect that. So we are coming to take a lecture, and he said, take your paper like and your pen. You have a quiz right now.
Yep, that's definitely a curveball. So, Kevin, I mean, not Kevin. I want to call you Kevin today. I'm not sure why. Ken, um,
Mhm.
can you think of a time that you were making plans on something and someone threw you a curveball?
I, I, um, usually I throw a straight ball. So I want to, I want to learn how to throw a curveball. But sometimes I when I make joke, maybe straight
Okay.
joke, but also a curveball joke. Yeah, I
Okay.
throw. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't think of any time that you have been thrown a curveball when you have done something basically something has been done unexpectedly while you were planning.
Mm-hmm.
No. Okay.
Huh? I couldn't get it. So
Well,
sorry.
okay. For example, let me show you guys an example of a curveball. Yesterday was my mom's 75th birthday. And she had told me last month that she wasn't going to have a birthday party. She didn't want to be disappointed if her grandkids didn't show up. So she told me that, so I called her grandkids and I said, okay, I want you to plan that day and come meet us at a restaurant. And so my sister and I planned to surprise her with her grandkids at this restaurant. And then we realized that one of the granddaughters had a job, and so we couldn't meet at the restaurant that we wanted to. So that was the first curveball that was thrown. So we figured out another restaurant that was close to her work, and then we realized that in order to get our mom there in time, we had to take the freeway. Well, my mom does not like to ride on a freeway because it's too fast. So we were planning this, and then I threw this curveball to my sister, and I said, yes, but we can't take her on the freeway. So it would have taken 20 minutes on the freeway, but it took an hour to drive her there off the freeway. So that was a curveball. Basically, when we have to plan for our mom, we always have to plan for this curveball that we can't take her anywhere on the freeway, if that makes any sense. So we're planning stuff, and then curveballs are thrown, and then you have to make a change because of that situation. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and it worked out. She was surprised. My sister and I did a really good job at keeping her confused. So it was great. So, all right. So, Mustafa, have you ever gone to bat for someone? So defended them, or
By the way, I can say definitely I went to bat for someone, some people, but I am thinking now about like specific situation.
Okay. So you know you have, but you can't think of any specific. Okay. Yeah. And Ken, have you ever gone to bat for someone?
Oh yes. God, when I sometimes went to the bat for someone to defend. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you think of a time?
When I was a kid.
Well, no. Like for example, for example, basically you're defending someone when you were a kid, or nowadays.
When I was a kid.
So when you were a kid, you went to bat for somebody?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So my friend was. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's go on. Let's look at this. Do you think so? First question: what qualities, Ken, do you think a baseball player needs to be good?
Quality. It's up to their position.
Mm-hmm.
Pitcher needs to have a good strong, I can say shoulder or arms.
Mm-hmm.
But batter is two types. Home run batter needs, the quality to hit the ball far away, and hit and run batter needs to hit the ball precise point. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so they do definitely need to have different qualities. So, Mustafa, Do you think baseball will ever be a worldwide sport like soccer?
No, I don't think so.
No chance.
No chance. No chance. Yeah, no chance. I think it's not that famous game
Uh-huh.
in the country. It's not
Yeah.
that famous. It's maybe it's second, third, like as you mentioned, like third or second after soccer. It's
Hmm.
comes. Soccer's the
Yeah.
first, maybe, and then basketball, I think. And
Yeah,
then maybe we
basketball.
can, yeah, and then we can say like this game, baseball.
Yeah, well, probably hockey. For most of the world, hockey is before baseball as well.
Yeah, on hockey, yes, and hockey.
Yeah, so hockey, soccer, football, and then and possibly even American football is before, and rugby is before baseball in most countries.
Yeah, so now it's on fifth, maybe
It's
fifth.
sixth or seventh, maybe 10th in some countries. Yeah, so what do you think, Ken? Since you're from a country that actually plays baseball, do you think that baseball could ever be a worldwide sport?
Maybe not, because baseball requires kind of kind of gloves, a bat, or you know,
Hmm. Equipment.
yeah, equipment. So kids can buy such equipment, can play that,
Hmm.
but not all. So in the past, when the baseball started here,
Hmm.
actually they had the sometimes handmade it. The kids using handmade glove, not the actual glove.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why they are so passionate for about baseball, playing baseball, but you
Hmm.
know, but compared to the soccer or basketball, anybody can play if they have the ball.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
especially soccer, maybe, yeah. That's,
Yeah. Did
mhm.
When you guys were in school, did you ever play kickball?
Mm, no, oh, we play soccer, not the kickball.
Have you guys, do either one of you guys know what kickball is?
I don't know. It's kickball.
It's something that we played in school. Let's see if I can find pictures. It's this kind of ball right here, and it's actually played just like baseball. The only difference is the pitcher will roll the ball and the person kicks it, and you run the bases exactly the same way, except you just kick the ball instead of like this right here. You kick the ball and then they throw it. So you never played this in school, Ken?
No, like a combination uh, of soccer and baseball.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
It's kind of the only place that, but it's interesting about the only place that you actually kick the ball is at the
Mhm.
home base. All the rest of it, you throw it.
I see.
So this guy is tagging this runner, but it's the exact same idea here. You have the home, first, second, third. You have the pitcher's mound, and everything. So I didn't realize that people this age played it. I always thought it was just school. So, but anyway, um, all right. Um, let's go to this one. Ken, do you consider baseball to be a slow game?
Yeah, I, kind of, the baseball player moves when the batter hit the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So rest of the time, they standing still almost. Yeah, kind of uh quiet sports, but
Uh-huh.
audience here is very exciting. Their brass bands came and audience sing. Oh,
Really?
yeah, very noisy.
Wow.
Baseball stadium here is very noisy. So my
Wow.
American roommate says probably that's supporting star is for American football in America. And baseball stadium
Yeah.
is also noisy in
Yeah,
America.
because Well, I went to one baseball game in the States, and I would never suggest that a foreigner go to a baseball game. Football game, basketball game, yeah, but I would never suggest anybody go to a baseball game because it's just boring. So, all right, let's go on. Mustafa, could you choose a question and ask Ken a question, and Ken, you can ask a question back.
Okay, Ken, since you are in Japan, oh sorry, you are in the country where the baseball is played there. Do children have easy access to baseball in your country?
Yeah, very easy to access when the kids gather, and especially men, kind of boy gathers, they play baseball. But I don't like playing baseball so much, so I don't like it. Actually.
So you're not a normal Japanese.
Play soccer, yeah, actually, not a baseball.
Yeah.
But
So
very common.
What is more popular in Japan, soccer or baseball?
Baseball.
Really?
Yeah, totally baseball. Soccer began to popular late 1980s or 90s.
Really? So soccer became popular in the States before it did in Japan?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, 70s, 80s. Yeah,
70s is when it
almost all
came.
the time baseball was always a top popular sport.
Really? Is it now? No, I hate to butt in, Mustafa, but how about basketball? Is basketball more popular than baseball?
Me or Mustafa?
In Japan.
Baseball is always popular, and then soccer, and then basketball maybe.
Okay. Wow. Okay. And Mustafa, what is the ranking in Iraq? Is it soccer first, soccer or football, and then
Soccer.
Soccer is just totally. It is the sport.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And because in the States, in the fall it's American football. In the winter it's basketball. So we're in basketball season now. In the spring and summer it's baseball and soccer. And there's also, I guess, a fall soccer and a summer soccer, a spring soccer, or something like that too. So, okay, Ken, can you choose a question?
Okay, Mustafa. All things about related to baseball. Do you know the rules of baseball?
Kind of.
We went over it a little bit. Real basic. Right, I probably, Ken, you know the rules better than me, so possibly, but you know 3 strikes or you're out. You know, you hit the ball.
The easy one.
And you run the bases.
And the base fell, like. Yeah. And we run like quickly about them, like to a pitcher and the batter and the catcher and the first baseman and the second baseman and the third baseman. So yeah, a strikeout is the best.
And or the strike, a home run is the best, or a strikeout is the best for the pitcher. Yeah. So, all right. And Mustafa, can you choose a question?
Are there any baseball players from your country playing in the USA?
Yes, many, because actually, most of the star player here move to the major league because they can get a more salary, as they can get more, attract more people in the world. So such kind of thing, like top soccer player playing Barcelona. I mean, such kind of phenomenon is happening here too.
Oh, really? So is it the top Japanese soccer players are playing in?
I mean, same as the soccer field. Top soccer player played abroad to get more opportunity, better
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah.
We had a Japanese player, the top player moved to major league.
Mm. And like it's like in Finland, even though in Finland the top sport there is hockey, and which makes sense because it's so cold. And they actually the top players always move to the U.S. and Canada, not necessarily because they're better at hockey, because they're not, but the reason is because they make more money over here,
Mm.
where they can't make
Yeah.
as much money in Scandinavia. So let's look. So let's see if you know any trivia. Ken, and Mustafa, you can learn something. So Ken, how many players are played how many players are on a baseball team?
Usually 9.
And I didn't write any answers. I don't have any answers to this. Ooh, okay, usually 9. Okay,
I forgot. I'm not sure about that. Yeah.
okay. So, okay, let's go to this one. Mustafa, what do you think? What kinds of food are sold at baseball stadiums in the USA? What do you think? What's your guess?
Popcorn.
Uh-huh. Popcorn's one. Okay, yeah.
Coke. Yeah, food is not a drink. Yeah. So this is in my head, top of my head.
Okay.
Just
Just remember hot dogs.
hot dogs.
Hot dogs. Hot dogs and baseball go together in the US. Is it the same in Japan? Or what kinds of foods are sold in Japan?
Hot dogs, not so. Yeah, maybe they're selling, but bento box.
Oh,
And beer.
okay.
Yeah.
Bento box. That totally makes sense.
And
Yeah,
beer.
we don't have beer. Any
Oh, yeah.
professional,
Hey.
professional teams, no alcohol. So, all right. Well, I want to thank you all for your time, and I hope to see you in another class. The next class we'll be doing is basketball, and I'm sure it will have just as much interest as this one did. Very little, but thank you very much for your participation, though. So
Thank you. See ya.
we'll see you all in another class. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.